All right, Mary Kay culture. There is nothing like it. There is nothing like the Mary Kay culture. We're so excited to come here and share with you just what you have to look forward to, especially like when you go to in-person events. You're going to really experience the Mary Kay culture that is like none other. And I think that's why this business has been so successful for 60 years. 30, I don't know why I said 30, 60, 60. You guys. I mean, that's before I was even born, before Alice was ever born. So the Mary Kay culture, I'll never forget my first experience going to an event. I had just signed my agreement. I did my first 25 item challenge. And then my mentor says, okay, there's this retreat. You've got to go. And I'm like, what? And it cost, I don't know, it was like $150 or something. And to me, that was a lot of money in the beginning. I mean, I remember I had a skirt from Ross that I wore to every single place. That was $8.99. Well, I went and I invested in myself, and it was life changing. I will never forget my national. Before she retired, her husband was dying of cancer, and all the directors, he was like family. They were all like family. I saw this culture of family, and they were all professing how much they loved him and how much they supported him. He was professing his love for my national. I was just kind of like, what did I sign up for? I don't know, but I really like this. Okay. It was like overwhelming. I was like, I didn't know I was signing up to like find a really awesome husband too, but I saw how people loved and respected one another, how they had faith, how it was really God first, family second, and career third. When I heard that and I saw my first video of Mary Kay Ash, I was sold out on this company, and I knew that I was going to be a lifer. I knew I was going to be here for a long time. And so I don't know, Alice, you have many more years. You probably have many memories and experiences. Oh, and then one more, just like bringing my husband to a retreat, because there's some events where you can bring husbands. And he was like, whoa, because he's a skeptic, right? He's a realist. And he was like, this is way more than just selling cosmetics. He said, this is a family, a culture, a lifestyle. And it was just, it's one of those things you have to show up to experience it. Words can't really express what that looks like, but the culture is of so many things. And I'm going to turn it over to Alice so she could share her experiences.
Well, so many similar experiences. We grew up in the same Mary Kay family, essentially, because they, before she was a national, was a director in Carol Anton's area. So I just think back to when I was a consultant, and it's like you said. I always worked in corporate, and it was very catty, and the women aren't there for each other like they are in Mary Kay. And so I remember going to these Mary Kay functions, and my first one being told to wear a skirt. I showed up in pants because I don't wear pants. I don't wear skirts. And then I felt so like, oh my God, I'm the only one in pants, So, and the women all looked sharp, and they were all so nice to each other. And I was used to this corporate office in the tech world where it was, you know, oh, that person wants my job and they're trying to make me look bad. Just little catty things that did not take place in Mary Kay. In Mary Kay, we share ideas, and in Mary Kay, they wanted me to win the same diamond ring that they were going for. So the it's really hard to express. I was a single mom at the time, and I was, money was tight, and same thing, hearing about going to a retreat. Oh, spend money on that. Eventually, that's where all my vacation time went. That's where I couldn't invest enough in myself, but I watched it help me and propel me to the next step. And that's how over the years I've earned 9 free cars. And that's how over the years I became a sales director and earned 5 diamond rings. It's not because I'm any different than you. It's just because I showed up to those events and I was poured into by those women, and they lifted me up. I just, it's like no other feeling. You said it exactly right.
And you came in my starter kit. Like, I wouldn't even know Alice if it wasn't for saying yes to this opportunity and showing up to events and like being open to the culture to receive it. And I feel like every woman should experience it, because at that first retreat, there's this girl that came up to me, and you guys, I was really rough around the edges. She walks up to me, she said, hi, I'm Annie, and I'm going to be your new best friend. And I was like, no, you're not. Like, whoever says that means they're going to stab you in the back, right? But women, like you said, Alice, I thank you for that reminder. Women really genuinely want the best for you here, and we're not competing against each other. we run the race together, and we share. There's the go give spirit. That's one of the highest awards in Mary Kay, and there's a beautiful story behind that. Ask your director how that award came to being. But the go give spirit is when you just go and you serve. You have a servant heart. You really you want better, and you cheer for your girlfriends. You want to see them be successful. And so coming out of a world where it was the complete opposite, it was very overwhelming for me. And it took me time to break through and really trust the process and not sabotage myself, because I had a lot of dysfunctional habits. And my background, when you get to know me and my story, which you'll hear in another video, Mary Kay has really softened those hardened edges of me. And yeah. And so our next topic is a can-do attitude. Okay, you guys, I remember doing booking calls with my director, and she would sound like a flight attendant. And so she said, just copy me, just word for word, just follow. I knew how to follow somebody else and be a good copycat. Just follow the right cat, right? Copy the right cat. And so when I came to doing booking calls, I realized I had a Mary Kay voice. It's kind of like filled with enthusiasm. And it's like, oh, we kind of sound like a professional airline stewardess. Like, hi, this is Christina with Mary Kay, and I'm so excited. The can-do attitude starts with our belief and how we want to start viewing ourselves. So much personal growth came through this journey, and I hope you all are excited if you're new, and I am so excited if you're seasoned, because there's always a new level to grow to. There's always new perspectives for us to change our thinking. Wouldn't you agree, Alice?
Completely. I mean, there's ups and downs in this business, just like in anything else. But if you have the right mindset about it, you can find a way around it. You can get creative. You can reach up to your director, because she's probably been there and had the same situation.
Right.
I feel like there's that bond from the Mary Kay culture that we're here to help each other. So, we haven't done as directors, we haven't done anything that we're not asking you to do.
Right.
Like, we've been through all of that. So if you can't think of a way around it, maybe call us and we can help you through it.
Call us before you go too deep in that rabbit hole, Like, I don't know about you, but Alice, I remember being so in such stinking thinking and stuck in a rut, and I couldn't pull myself out, that eventually, like, my senior would call me and check in on me, and I wouldn't want to answer the phone. I'd want to hide out in the bushes. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to call her. And once I called her, I was like, why didn't I call her sooner? Like, I pivoted and I was able to shift that yucky, icky feeling to possibility, can do attitude. And the more that I learned to do that faster and faster, the more I was able to learn self-coaching. And then what happens is we get to give it away to somebody else. The greatest gift is passing it on. And that's what Mary Kay Ash asked us to do, is to pass it on. One day you're going to sit there and be so grateful for who you've become through the process. It doesn't matter about the cars or the diamond rings or the trips, and all of that stuff is fun, but it's material and it's temporary. But who you become in the process, you get to transfer that to somebody else. You get to give that gift to somebody else. And so the sooner that we learn how to self-coach through having a can-do attitude, the world just opens up so many possibilities for you.
And you really can share that with your team member, because you've been there now. So, yep. I think there are so many times when I've, called a sister consultant or my sales director, or, somebody from my unit meeting, that I got closer to, we encourage each other, and they can talk you right out of that and give you like some idea you hadn't thought of. And I really appreciate that for Mary Kay. She allowed us to all be supportive of each other and made it a good thing. And yes, from the business background that I came from, that was not the case. So I'm just forever changed, and I'll never leave Mary Kay, because because of that reason, because we're all here for each other, and you don't experience that out in the real world.
Right. Together we are better. So
Yep.
reach up, focus on having a can-do attitude. And if you can't pull yourself out, reach up to somebody. There's someone always that's going to, pull you up, because that's the culture of Mary Kay.